It's a fourth straight victory Monday in Chicago, and for the first time in what feels like forever, the energy around the Bears is actually positive. The team is sitting at Cuatro Vitorias y Duas Derrotas, riding momentum, playing with confidence, and for the fan base that's been through the ringer over the years, there's finally reason to believe this rebuild might be real. But even in the middle of a win streak, even after taking down the New Orleans Saints by a solid 12-point margin, the conversations in the Windy City haven't exactly calmed down. Because as any Bears fan knows, it's never just about the win. It's about what the win tells us, and more importantly, what it doesn't. Let's get into it. First, yes, the Bears won. And yes, they've now put together 4 victories in a row. That alone should be a cause for celebration, especially considering how the season started. But here's the thing. The focus today isn't just on the W. It's about the quarterback, and whether Bears fans should start getting concerned about Caleb Williams. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't a panic moment. It's not time to start printing bench him signs or flooding message boards with Trey Machine fantasies. But it's fair and important to talk honestly about what we're seeing. Because Sunday against the Saints wasn't exactly a masterclass from the rookie quarterback. Far from it. Caleb looked off. The timing wasn't there. The accuracy was inconsistent. The decision-making, at times, felt rushed or overly ambitious. He tried to play hero ball on a few occasions when a simple scramble or a check down would have been the smarter call. And while you admire the confidence and competitive edge, sometimes less is more, especially when you're learning the ropes in the National Football League. Still, let's keep perspective. This was not a meltdown game. Caleb didn't throw 4 interceptions. He didn't completely lose his composure. In fact, for as off as he looked, he only turned the ball over once. And when your quarterback isn't sharp, but your team still manages to win comfortably, that says a lot about how far this roster and coaching staff have come. Because it wasn't long ago that a shaky QB performance would have guaranteed a blowout loss. But now, the Bears are finding ways to win in spite of those hiccups. And that's the mark of a team that's building something. The reaction online has been predictable. Some fans are calling for Tyson Bagent to get a look. And while it's easy to understand the frustration, especially when you've waited decades for a franchise quarterback, it's also way too early to be pulling the plug. Caleb Williams was never going to be perfect from day one. No quarterback is. Progress in the NFL is messy. It's not linear. One week you might look like the next superstar, and the next you're out of sync. That's part of the learning curve. And it's exactly what offensive coordinator Ben Johnson told us to expect. The development arc of a young quarterback is filled with bumps. What matters is whether he keeps climbing, even if it's not at a straight angle. And let's be real. 6 starts into his career, Caleb has shown flashes of greatness. He's had drives where he's looked surgical. He's had moments where you understand exactly why he was taken with the number 1 overall pick. He's also had struggles, because he's 22 years old, playing the hardest position in sports, in a league that doesn't give anyone an easy path. The Bears have won 4 straight. Caleb has had ups and downs during that stretch. That's okay. That's expected. The point is to let the process play out, because the ceiling with this guy is still insanely high. And this is where context really matters. What exactly are fans hoping to see from a quarterback like Tyson Bagent that Caleb Williams can't provide? Is the idea to switch to a player with a lower ceiling just because he might look more composed in limited action? Because let's not forget, Bagent is still developing too. And if you're going to ride the wave of a rookie quarterback, you may as well ride it with the one who has MVP-level upside. There's no point in playing it safe when the potential prize is a game-changing star under center. The Bears have tried the safe route before. It hasn't worked. This is a new era, and that means having the patience to let it unfold, even when it's uncomfortable. Plus, it's not like the Bears are getting carried by the quarterback right now. They're establishing a new identity, one that's built on physicality, toughness, and an increasingly dangerous run game. Over the last couple weeks, this offense has leaned hard into the ground attack, and it's working. DeAndre Swift has now logged back-to-back 100-yard games, making history in a Bears uniform. Kyle Manengai had his breakout moment with over a dozen carries and looked like a real contributor. This is what complementary football looks like. The offensive line is starting to gel, especially in the run game. The tight ends are blocking like maniacs. And the scheme is starting to hum in a way that fits the DNA of this team. We talked all offseason about what a Ben Johnson offense would look like, and here it is, not just throwing the ball all over the yard, but establishing dominance on the ground to open up everything else. This is the blueprint that made the Lions so dangerous under Johnson's watch, and it's beginning to take shape in Chicago. The beauty of it is that the Bears don't have to win shootouts to be competitive. They can punch you in the mouth, dominate time of possession, and let their defense do the rest. Speaking of the defense, wow, what a transformation. This unit has been lights out for nearly a month now. The tackling has been ferocious. The energy is contagious. Spencer Rattler spent most of Sunday dumping the ball off because there was simply nothing open downfield. And when he did try to make something happen, he paid the price. Alvin Kamara got lit up time after time, whether it was in the run game or on short passes. This defense is flying around with purpose, and it's not just about talent. It's about coaching. Dennis Allen is dialing up creative pressures, mixing up coverages, and putting his guys in a position to succeed. He doesn't have an elite pass rusher. He's been without his top corner, but somehow he's getting results. The Bears forced 4 turnovers on Sunday. No, that's not going to happen every week. But when you play with that kind of intensity, when you hit that hard, you force mistakes. You create doubt in your opponent's mind. By the fourth quarter, ball carriers are bracing for contact. Quarterbacks start rushing throws. Receivers think twice about catching that ball over the middle. That's what a real defense does. It imposes its will. And that's exactly what the Bears are doing right now. So yes, Caleb Williams didn't light up the scoreboard. And yes, some of the throws were off. But when your team is winning, when the coaching is sharp, and when the rest of the roster is stepping up, you don't panic. You stay the course. You coach the mistakes. You build on the progress. And you trust that the big-time talent or center is going to figure it out. Because this team, for the first time in years, actually looks like a team. The other storyline that can't be ignored right now is the growing list of injuries, something that always has the potential to derail momentum, especially when it starts hitting key contributors. This weekend, the Bears took a couple of tough blows. Tariq Stevenson and Cole Kmet both left the game, and while it's still too early for full diagnoses, the concern is very real. Let's start with Stevenson, who quietly has been one of the most consistent pieces of this defense since Jalen Johnson went down. He stepped into the role of CB1 with confidence, playing aggressive, physical football on the outside and showing real growth from his rookie year. He's not out there making highlight plays every down, but he's been exactly what the Bears needed, a stable, reliable corner in a secondary that has dealt with nothing but chaos. He left Sunday's game with a shoulder injury and didn't return. That in itself raises flags. Shoulder injuries are tricky. It could be something minor, like a stinger or a tweak. But if it's something more serious, like a dislocation or separation, the recovery time could stretch into multiple weeks. And with the Bears already thin at corner, that's a serious issue. Right now, if Stevenson were to miss time, you're looking at Kyler Gordon having to play outside full-time, which limits the defensive versatility this team has thrived on. Gordon is a talented player, but his best work comes inside. Moving him permanently outside would not only weaken the nickel spot, but put more pressure on younger, less experienced players to step up. During the game, there was a moment when Terrell Smith also went down for a few plays, which left the Bears with Gordon, Josh Blackwell, and Nick McLeod on the field. That's not a group you want to go to war with. Not for multiple weeks. It's a depth issue, and it's something the front office was already exploring even before Stevenson's injury. There were already whispers that the Bears were calling around about cornerbacks. Now, those calls become a necessity. You don't want to head into games against high-powered passing attacks with your secondary held together by duct tape. Whether it's bringing in a free agent, trading for a veteran, or poaching someone off another team's practice squad, something has to be done. And it needs to happen fast. One name that keeps popping up is Rick Woolen from Seattle. If the Seahawks are willing to deal him, the Bears have to at least make the call. The upside is there. He's long, fast, and has starting experience. Then there's Stephon Gilmore, who's still a free agent. He might not be what he once was, but if he's in shape, there's no reason not to at least bring him in for a workout. Asani Samuel Jr. is another name, recovering from a neck procedure, but if he gets medically cleared, he'd be an immediate upgrade in depth. The Bears don't need a superstar. They need someone who can hold their own for a few weeks while the starters get healthy. But if Stevenson's injury lingers, or if Johnson doesn't come back as quickly as hoped, this secondary could go from strength to weakness in a hurry. As for Cole Kmet, the early signs are a bit more optimistic. He exited the game with what was called a back issue, but the expectation is that it's more precautionary than serious. Kmet has been one of the most durable players on this team since he entered the league. He's played through injuries before and has never missed a start. That kind of toughness matters. And even though he's not lighting up the stat sheet every week, he's been critical in the Bears' offensive identity, especially in the run game. His blocking has improved dramatically, and he's one of the few tight ends in the league who plays nearly every snap, regardless of the play call. If he misses a game or two, it's manageable. The Bears have some depth at tight end that hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but has quietly done their job. Marcedes Lewis might be one of the oldest players in the league, but he's still a dominant blocker in certain sets. Colton Loveland, a rookie, is already making a name for himself as a punishing run blocker, and Durham Smythe has quietly been a reliable presence. You can get by with that trio if Kmet needs a week off. But again, the key is how long he's out. If it's just a tweak, he could be back next Sunday. If it's something more significant, like a back strain or even a minor fracture, then the team will need to think about elevating someone from the practice squad or making a short-term move. There's also the issue of momentum. The Bears are rolling right now. Every week that goes by with a win adds more belief, more confidence, and more buy-in to what the coaching staff is building. When you start losing players, especially on defense, where continuity and communication are everything, it's easy for that rhythm to break. The coaching staff will have their work cut out for them this week, not just in terms of game planning for Baltimore, but making sure the next man up is truly ready. And let's be clear, this is not a team that can afford to take a step back. The Ravens are coming off a bye week. They're rested, they're getting healthy, and they're desperate. Sitting at 1 win and 5 losses, they're going to come out swinging. And with Lamar Jackson still capable of taking over a game at any moment, this could be a very real test for how far this Bears defense has come. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be the most shocking shakeup of the NFL offseason, whispers are swirling around the league that the Chicago Bears are set to snatch defensive powerhouse Aaron Donald from a direct rival. Sources close to team circles suggest that talks have heated up in the past 48 hours, sparking a frenzy of speculation among fans and analysts alike. While nothing has been confirmed officially, insiders say the Bears front office has been quietly maneuvering behind the scenes, offering a package that could finally pry the star defensive tackle away from his current team. The implications of such a move are massive. Aaron Donald, a player widely regarded as one of the most dominant forces on the defensive line in recent memory, would instantly transform the Bears' defensive identity. Chicago has struggled for consistency on defense over the past seasons, and adding a player of Donald's caliber could signal a shift from rebuilding to immediate contention. Imagine the pressure he would put on quarterbacks week after week, potentially changing the dynamics, not just within the NFC North, but across the entire league. Meanwhile, the rival team, reportedly caught off guard by the sudden interest from Chicago, may face a difficult decision. Retaining Donald has been a priority, but the rumored offer from the Bears could be irresistible, particularly if it includes high draft picks or valuable young talent. NFL insiders suggest that this could trigger a domino effect, prompting other teams to reconsider their defensive strategies and off-season moves. Social media has exploded with fans debating the potential trade. Bears supporters are ecstatic at the mere possibility, envisioning a revamped defense that could finally turn their playoff dreams into reality. Critics, however, question whether the move would disrupt team chemistry or if the cost of acquiring Donald would be too steep. Regardless, the buzz is undeniable. Every sports show, podcast, and forum is ablaze with speculation about this possible blockbuster deal. Whether or not Aaron Donald eventually dons the navy and orange, the rumor alone has already shaken the NFL landscape. If history is any guide, deals of this magnitude tend to unfold dramatically, with sudden twists that leave even seasoned analysts stunned. For now, the league waits with bated breath, and Bears fans are savoring the tantalizing possibility of seeing one of the game's greatest defensive talents stride on a Soldier Field. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.